Hi Aries. So, rolling in to this fellow fire season, you may feel full of luck, full of good things happening, even though things have been maybe a little bit difficult at times. You have no reason to doubt. You have no reason to be overwhelmed. You have every reason at this point to put all of that could possibly be steering you away from the goodness into the structure you're building. If there's too much going on and you have a lot of different energy going in different places, it may be beneficial to you at this time to focus on what is really important and needs your help and what just isn't working right now. However, it doesn't mean you cannot come back to it in the future. It shows that once you go through this period of kind of trial and error with all of these different things going on, you find your focus. Because the last thing you want to do is use this amazing Leo fire energy to burn yourself out too quickly or just do things because you have to do them. That's not actually true. You have choices now. So it's important to use those choices because the Wheel of Fortune rolling in gives you no reason to doubt what's being offered to you. It wouldn't be offered to you if it wasn't meant for you at this time, because it doubles back around during the middle of the month, we'll say, and probably around the 11th, which is the full moon, and also when Venus goes into Leo. You may feel and have a deeper connection with what you really want and what your vision is by that point. It may become extremely clear to you what brings you the over amount of abundance, and you have a lot to say and a lot to offer. However, you might not be able to find the words until the end of the month. We get closer to Virgo season, but you still might be giving advice. You might still be giving out some things and saying things of value, and you have a lot to say and a lot to add to a situation. And there's also a lot to celebrate by the end of the month. You may feel like the adventure that you're taking, like a Cancer, what you learned in Cancer season, is that when you utilize that energy in a way that's extremely potent and powerful for you, it's yes, being able to have fun and celebrate and see what you've grown so far, but it's also this major acknowledgement of this can be a long-term thing. This Three of Wands to Three of Cups, you have the ability to turn what your creative energy, whatever you're deciding to put your energy into something of substance, into something that you really want, into something with people who you actually enjoy doing it with. It doesn't matter if you're friends or not. You seem to be working really well with the people around you, and they're listening and they're receptive to what you have to say. You may also have to be receptive to someone else. And that kind of energy this month is going to be more helpful than not, because when you find yourself in these predicaments, you're going to need to possibly ask for help and to trust other people and trust the people that you have around you to carry out what your vision might be. They're not you. However, it's really important that the more that independent you come, the more risks you want to take. You need to be able to trust the people that you give reins to. You need to be able to trust the people and acknowledge those people and be able to clearly direct them as well. You need to set them up for the success you've set yourself up for. You may not understand how it's all happening, but that's not important. What's important is that it is happening and that it's happening for you right now. And if people cannot understand that, then it's really important that you maybe say it to the people, especially that you care about. This month is extremely intimate, and we're seeing even more of the intimate side of Leo, the more side where they pull back. So you may want to pull back on how you think you're being viewed, and really acknowledge how you view yourself and what's actually true, instead of making up things in your head if that's what you're doing. You have done a lot, however, and you have filled cups and you have brought things to fruition. However, there's something even more out there for you, and through this process, you will come to the elimination of what's no longer worth it, what's no longer serving you, or what part of whatever you're doing is self-sufficient enough to run for itself. If you're working for someone else, you may be advised to lead. You may have to learn to delegate. You may have to understand that just because you're playing out someone else's vision, you're also playing out slightly your own, because they asked you to take charge, or you're being appointed a different situation. It's just, again, really important not to overwork yourself to the point where you're not able to communicate effectively. Communicating effectively is important because no one else can be in your head. No one else knows what you know. No one else understands the weight of the responsibility. However, we all have to help each other out in those ways, and where the position that you're in, that's what you're being asked to do. By the end of the month, you may feel more like yourself. And I say this to you a lot, but it seems that you're going through these ups and downs, and the axis of Aries and Libra seem to be doing that, because the eclipses will enter those signs next year. You really need to focus on what brings you the most freedom, and what that means for you, because by the end of the month, you may gain perspective on where you have lacked maturity, and where this month helps you grow that maturity and grow that self-confidence and those boundaries and those things that you really need in order to become even more successful in your life. Because the Chariot says this is for the long run, that there's going to be a long period of time where there will be much work to do, and you're happy to do it. However, you still want, especially if you're someone who wants to make more money, not doing as much, and this being just the beginning of it all, there needs to be some kind of plan in place. You may find yourself wanting to take a day or two or a couple weeks and pick a couple days out of that couple weeks to sit down and have yourself a plan. Again, it may not work out exactly as planned, but at least you'll have something to tweak. At least you're not just heading into the unknown without any idea of what you really want, because all of this luck is going to go somewhere, and all of this luck is here for you, but it's up to you to acknowledge it. It will be, of course, given to you, but if you can't acknowledge what's right in front of you, then you're going to have a really hard time this month, and you may find yourself in more confrontation in the intimate relationships that you have, and taking that out in places that aren't really set up for that kind of destruction. So again, overindulging in areas, indulgence it may happen this month, but towards the end of the month, you'll want to get out there even more, be a little more extroverted. This advice is to maybe take a step back before you go out this month. Recognize what's important, communicate again effectively. If you cannot, maybe take a day, maybe take a beat, maybe take a moment, whatever you need to do in order to get through with efficiency and productivity this month is really important, because people and associates are going to be your best allies, and the most important thing this month, and what's yet to come in the months ahead. Okay, Aries? Amazing. And I'll see you next month.